The Lok Sabha today passed the Chief Election Commissioner and Other Election Commissioners Bill 2023. Needless to say, it was passed without any debate as the opposition benches were empty. The bill will become an act after the President gives her assent to it. It was already passed by the Rajya Sabha on December 12th this year. Now, this bill has had the opposition up in arms because they say it gives the government powers to appoint their man as the Chief Election Commissioner, someone who will do their bidding during elections. The bill lays down the details regarding the appointment and condition of services of poll panel chiefs. Now, previously, the Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners, two of them, were appointed by the President based on the recommendation of the central government. Now, under the soon-to-be Act, a 3-member panel will decide the final name. The committee will include the Prime Minister, a Union Minister appointed by the Prime Minister, and the Leader of Opposition in the Lok Sabha. So that's 3. In short, 2 people who pick the Chief Election Commissioner will be from the centre side and 1 from the opposition. This singular clause directly supersedes the Supreme Court's March ruling, which had stated very clearly that the panel to pick the names will include the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition in the Lok Sabha, and the Chief Justice of India. The court had passed the order to ensure independence in selection of the election commissioners. Now, another big feature in this new bill is that the Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners are protected from legal proceedings during their tenure, provided the action by them took place while they were discharging their duties. Could you help me understand what exactly is the problem with the CEC bill that has been passed by the Lok Sabha today without any debate?
Yeah. Shreya, it is not correct to say that Supreme Court judgment has been diluted. Actually, it is in compliance of the judgment. The judgment only was that there should be a bill, there should have been a bill, because that was mentioned in the Constitution itself, Article 324, bracket 5, that the appointment will be done subject to a law made by Parliament in due course, which never happened. So Supreme Court pointed out that for 70 years you have not passed an act, please pass an act. Until you do that, if there is a vacancy and there is a recruitment, we will follow a collegium system, a collegium which will consist of Prime Minister, Chief Justice and a Leader of Opposition, a collegium with which we are familiar, which has been appointing CEC, CVC and even Director of CBI. Now, to one extent, it is the compliance of the Supreme Court judgment. They wanted an act passed, the act has been passed. But the spirit of the judgment has been diluted for sure. Now, also another wrong statement being made in the media that through this, the government is appropriating all the power to appoint the election commissioner. Actually, the government already has all the power. They don't have to ask anybody, not even a token collegium. Prime Minister sends the name to the President and the person is appointed. I came from the same system.
Correct.
All these, everyone for the last 70 years has come from the same system. Now, collegium is being introduced in the spirit, and not in the spirit because of this latest judgment, that it instead of a unilateral appointment by the government, let it be a multilateral appointment, a transparent appointment through a system of collegium. Now, the collegium which has been introduced is a joke. Now, which cabinet minister can disagree with the Prime Minister? Which means it will be 2-1. It
Correct.
is sitting here, you in the studio and I at home. We know the result. It is 2-1. Now, what exactly is the purpose? Why do they do these funny things? So, and what was wrong with the Chief Justice? After all, the last 10 years, many appointments have been made. Nowhere Chief Justice has been a kind of a roadblock for the government. Everybody has, and no opposition leader has questioned any appointment made by this collegium. Therefore, this collegium, composition of the collegium is definitely questionable, desirable, and it needs to change. But there are a couple of good things which have happened. One, that for the first time, qualifications for the election commissioners have been prescribed. Earlier, it is different that everyone appointed in the last 70 years was secretary or rank of secretary. Now, it has been laid down by the Act. Otherwise, theoretically, somebody from the street could be picked up. If Tom, Dick, and Harry could be appointed, there was no legal bar, no constitutional bar. So that has been made very clear, which is a good thing. And the fact that only secretary level officers, which shows that they have the experience, they have the capability, that's the right qualification. Now, another new thing which has been done is a shortlisting committee. A committee will shortlist 5 names from which the person will be selected. Now, this shortlisting in the original bill 2 months ago was headed by the cabinet secretary with 2 other secretaries. I made the comments on various channels and maybe in some articles that this committee is bad because they will be choosing somebody who is higher than them. Now, you choose somebody lower than you, not somebody who is higher than you in constitutional status, rank of the Supreme Court judge. So now I think the government perhaps listened to this or reconsidered. Now this committee is headed by the law minister, which is a good thing. For another reason, that committee was defective. Now, cabinet secretary himself could be a candidate. But if he was the chairman of the shortlisting committee, he will not be able to recommend himself. So that way, this is an improvement. I'm grateful to the government that the status of Supreme Court judge, which we enjoy from from the beginning, has been restored. It was being downgraded to cabinet secretary. Now imagine 90% of the chief election commissioners of the world and the commission are judges. And India's election commission is a Vish Guru. They all come to us. In our institute, which we set up 10 years ago, 108 countries have come and trained. Now, coming to deal with a bureaucratic CEC, it will really would have compromised our position. So some chief election commissioner, retired commissioners, including me, we sent a representation to the PMO. I'm grateful to the Prime Minister for accepting that, and they have restored the Supreme Court judge status in the national interest. So that's a good thing. Another new thing and a good thing which has been done is that the commissioners have been protected from criminal proceedings against them, because in the last 2-3 years, what happened was one High Court, I think Madras High Court, said that criminal murder cases should be filed against Chief Election Commission because they're conducting election during COVID. And Andhra High Court or some court, they ordered an FIR against the CEC, the current CEC, Rajiv Kumar. So Rajiv Kumar took it up, he protested, and this protection clause has been introduced, which is a very good thing, and we should appreciate that nice thing. But
so you're saying there is some good and there is some bad.